Well, these awards are really to find out what's been going on with patients and community groups and get people engaged more in Medway CCG, how we can help improve services and build community resilience.
For me, the issue is our services are patient-facing, they're focused around what people need, and actually we need to understand what they want, not what we think they want. We don't give ourselves enough time to be able to share what we've done, and for me that's really important, so it's great to be here.
Overall, we have two different sections. One is we're looking at community and one we're looking at patient experience, and from each of those sections we've got 5 organisations going to be telling us through the exciting work they're doing, and they'll have an award from each of those sections.
We work with adults aged 18 plus who have experienced mental health issues, so it's about giving people an opportunity to have a say about their experiences, feedback about the services that they've accessed, and also to offer peer support as well.
So it's their confidence, their self-esteem. I also think it's some of their comments, like that if it wasn't for our group they wouldn't be here today. They're quite powerful statements really.
We ran the woodwork project for 6 months. And it came about with involving Medway funding. It was a truly intergenerational and multiracial project. The impact was much more than learning a skill, but it was more of social networking. It gave them a purpose to leave their house in the morning and come to these sessions.
We ran a month-long exhibition last year for 14 artists living with invisible illness. We had a huge turnout and a great reaction. Because of the strength of the reaction, we've continued the project, and very encouraging feedback that it made a big difference.
Walderslade Together is a social isolation and improving employability charity. I was taken up there and introduced to the girls, and they have completely changed my life.
I believe that at some time in anyone's life they need help, and this is my way of giving back. But it has also opened other doorways for us.
Yeah, it's just been, all in all, a very positive and rewarding experience.
I set the group up very shortly after the death of my husband. There was no support at all for me, and it's just flourished over the years. We've had over 500 people through the books in 12 and a half years. Anything you can find to put on the calendar to make something to look forward to is what we do.
I was on the patient judging panel today. We were very, very impressed by all of them. We were really struck by the sense of community, the heart and soul that goes into these services.
It always reminds me that although in the NHS we think we do a huge amount for people, what we do is only part of it. What the community does looking after itself is almost the bigger part of what's needed.
Our project is around patient care around emergency surgery, which can be a really intimidating and scary time for patients. But we really wanted to focus on what it's like for patients, and also once they go back into the community, what ongoing problems they have.
Just lovely to just be able to talk with the surgeons and other patients that have been through what you've been through.
Patients Forum is really the eyes and ears of the patients, and we're there just to tweak and give the minor improvements that may be needed. Apart from being supportive of the patients, it's also supportive of the staff as well, and that does really make a difference.
I'm Lynn Johnston, I'm head of Our Zone. We held several events, open days, focus groups to review the service. It's key to get members involved, it's their centre, so that's made a real difference to their lives.
For families following the death of a patient who have questions or concerns about the care their loved one received, they can have difficulty finding the answers that they need. And so we decided to give them the opportunity to come back and to ask all the questions that they needed to. The families get the answers that they need, but it's also hugely beneficial to the Trust in that we're then able to feed back the positive and negative things that the families have said to us, to the wards, to the nursing staff, to the clinicians, the doctors looking after, or anybody else.
I'm Kim Henson, I'm the named nurse who looked after children for Medway.
And I'm Lynn Topley, one of the specialist nurses who looked after children.
The young people obviously form a large part of our service.
Quite often we try the little changes that make a difference to the young people to make them feel more confident, more comfortable. That's really quite a privileged role, really.
To hear so many people talking about so many exciting and involving projects. It's really uplifting.
I would strongly say support their great work and the organisations that they're working with, because it goes a long way in helping improve local people's lives in everything they do every day.
Whether they're users of services or whether they're service providers, I think there's the sense of humanity came out to me today.
It's been quite an emotional day in part. Some of the stories that we've heard have been really quite powerful. I think one of the themes that's really come through to me during today is about respect, actually respecting people's views, and that we need to really take account of what people say to us.